All right, so behind me is a bale of hay. And I want you to think for a minute as this bale of hay as a representation of the freight broker industry. That's a pretty big industry. And then I want you to think of yourself as this paper clip. This paper clip is your freight broker business. This paper clip is you, the freight broker. Now, when you first get started, one of the things that you want to do more so than anything else is stand out so that your customers can see you amongst everybody else. Would it make sense to go and stick yourself as a freight broker into this big bale of hay? Of course not. Nobody's going to recognize you. You're going to look just like everybody else. So why do we do that? Why do we always go in and try and model what everybody else is doing, be like everybody else? Well, it's because we hear these things like, oh, if you go out and you see somebody else doing well, you just do what they do and you'll get the same results. To a certain extent, yes. But in a business, you want to stand out, you want to get discovered, you have to make your skill set, your value known to your customers. And I see so many new freight brokers, small freight brokers, making mistakes, making simple mistakes that are making you stay small. And you're not wanting to stay small, you want to grow and be known. In this video today, I'm going to talk about some of those mistakes that you're making and some things that you can do to correct those mistakes to help you grow your freight broker business. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and let's get down into the business. Don't be like that guy. Be your own unique self. There's something special, something really unique about you, but in order for it to come out, guess what has to happen? You have to be 100% who you are. And so many people are not being themselves. They're trying to be somebody else. They're trying to act like somebody else. They're trying to talk like somebody else. But you'll never be that person. You're just a replica. You're just somebody who's trying to be somebody else. And that comes across. People are able to see that. They're seeing that you're disingenuous. So always be who you are. Be your special self, because then those characteristics come out and people are more willing to want to do business with you because they know, they can feel your genuineness. They can feel who you are, right? So don't be anybody else. Don't try to talk like another freight broker. Don't try to talk the freight broker talk. Talk how you talk. Talk about your services and what you can offer in the way that you would do it. Don't try to be me because you're not me. I'm not going to try to be you because I'm not you. I'm just going to be my real authentic self and let the chips fall where they may. Nobody can be a better me than I can be. So when I can bring that person to the table, I have the best chance at winning relationships, and you do too. Be who you are and no one else, because you are good enough. So I'm at a freight brokers convention, and there's a panel of shippers, and the freight brokers get to ask the shippers a question. And a freight broker stands up and he says, "Hey shippers, why is it that it seems every time freight brokers call, we always get the same answer? Either you're already covered or you don't need any assistance." Shipper stands up and he says, "I can't speak for everybody, but for me, why I say I don't need assistance is because I don't need your type of assistance. You sound just like the 10 other people that have called me today. There's nothing unique about you. There's nothing that stands out." What that made me understand from that point on is that freight brokers have to have a USP, a unique selling point, and you have to be able to speak to that unique selling point. What is unique about what it is that you're selling? For example, an LTL service. You could have an LTL service that is direct to LTL carriers that helps you to provide lane coverage for any lanes in the United States. Any lanes, because you're direct to LTL carriers. And then of course you're going to be able to do those at a discount. Now that is a part of a service that a shipper would be interested in. Instead of you just saying, "Hey, we can help you move some of your freight," specifically what it is that you provide and how do you provide that? How can it help shippers? That tells a shipper how you can help them. And that's important. Stop acting like a truck driver. For the simple reason you're not a truck driver. You are a freight broker. You don't have trucks. So don't pass yourself off as a truck driver. If you are a truck driver, you drop off and pick up loads. If that's all you do as a freight broker, you are not going to be in business for long because you are not offering much at all. Differentiate yourself from truck drivers. Freight brokers manage the movement of loads from point A to point B. They provide a service to the load as it moves from point A to point B. Again, identify what your service is. Do you specialize in multi-pick, multi-drop services? Do you specialize in FTL services? Do you specialize in drayage services? Exactly what is it that you do? Identify that service so that you can speak to that service. Don't start your business off at the wrong time. If you start off wrong, it'll end up wrong every single time. And no, I don't mean starting off wrong like starting off in bad economic conditions. People start in businesses in bad economic conditions all the time. That's not what I'm talking about. If you can manage a business in bad conditions, you can certainly manage it in good conditions, and you certainly are going to have plenty of both. So whenever you start, as far as conditions are concerned, are not really that big of a deal to me. What I'm talking about is starting off a business with bad credit. When you start off with bad credit, everything costs more for you, especially when it comes to things like your surety bond. I've seen people start off a freight broker business with a score of 500 when you're talking about your credit score, and you're paying $10,000 for a bond. You cannot get ahead like that. If you start off with that type of bond, you are destined to fail. I think it's a much better idea to clean your credit up first, get a 700 credit score. When you got a 700 credit score, you can pretty much write your own ticket, get the very best bond, which is going to put you in the best position to succeed. And as a quick courtesy to you, I'll leave my bond rep's information in the description box just in case you don't have a bond. You can go through her to get your bond. I pay $900 a year for my bond. Now, of course, understand I've had this bond now for a long time, and I've been in the business for some time, so I get a very good bond rate, and I have excellent credit. So if you have good credit, you haven't been in business very long, they still offer some great rates. Check out the description box or give us a call at 470-427-2711, and Dal will make sure that he gets you connected with our bond representative. Stop playing small. Stop playing scared. Small and scared will never get you to the results that you want. Any excuses that you use as the reasons why you play it small and scared won't get you there either. So it's about getting confidence, and how you get the confidence is you start moving loads. You start engaging customers. That's the only way to start moving loads. Moving loads give you the confidence that you can actually provide value to shippers, that you have a service that they'll be able to see value in. Until you start providing that service, you won't have the confidence that you can do what you say you can do. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you find yourself making some of these same mistakes, stop, pump the brakes, reevaluate. Don't keep making them same mistakes over and over again, because it will almost certainly end you up in failure. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, it's a link in the description. Tells you all about how we move loads, how we make money. And if you want somewhere that you can start your conversations off to give you the confidence to keep moving, I'll leave you a free video right here. Till the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. We are what we repeatedly do. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.